it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to this special Friday the 13th edition of Friday Night Appointment with Fear. I can't speak. This is a pre-recorded episode, not going live with this one, but I'm recording it as live, so, warts and all. So, anyway, I thought for Friday the 13th, I think this might be the second time it's fallen on Friday the 13th, my appointment with Fear. I think I did one a while ago, didn't I? I did Friday the 13th Part 8, which is kind of my favourite one, even though a lot of people don't like it. Anyway, for this one, we're doing the original Friday the 13th. So that's what we're going to do. But before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. It helps. Also, throw some super thanks my way and all that jazz. What else? I've got a Patreon page where you get exclusive stuff and early access, and I've also got memberships on YouTube, again, for exclusive stuff and early access and all that jazz. And I've also got a store where you can get t-shirts, which I've not worn my t-shirt tonight. I usually have my Friday Night Appointment with Fear t-shirt on, and I forgot to put it on tonight. Never mind. So you can do all that. Right, so Friday the 13th, info about it. I think everybody's probably seen this, haven't they? From 1980, directed by Sean S. Cunningham, written by Victor Miller, stars Betsy Palmer, Adrian King, Harry Crosby, the fifth son of Bing Crosby, or fifth child, whatever. Laurie Bartram, Mark Nelson, Janine Taylor, Robbie Morgan, and Kevin Bacon, the most famous person in the movie, although he wasn't at the time. Music by Harry Manfredini. It had a budget of $550,000. Did a box office of $60 million. So it's up there, isn't it? With one of the, for budget to gross difference, it's up there with Halloween and all that. And Halloween is the film that kind of inspired Sean S. Cunningham into doing this film. He saw Halloween and obviously thought, now then, what can I do in a similar vein? Before he'd produced I forgot what they call it now. Last House on the Left in the early 70s. I can't remember. I've got to find it now. 1972. He made that with Wes Craven. Last House on the Left, and then after that he kind of did family films and stuff like that. And but after seeing Halloween, he thought, right, what can I do on a similar vein to make some money? Because apparently they were just making ends meet. He wasn't a rich man by any stretch of the imagination. So he just thought Friday the 13th, because it's another auspicious day, I suppose. And the film does take place on Friday the 13th, although it doesn't really. Nobody really has bad luck, so to speak, apart from everybody dying, or most people dying in the film. But anyway, so he thought, right, the next film we're going to do. He got with his friend Steve Miner, who I think directed the second one. I think, and we're going to direct House, which is an amazing film. I'm sure we'll cover it at some point. So him and Steve Miner and Victor Miller got together to write the film and do the movie. They had no idea what they were going to make it about, but even before they had a script, even before they even knew what the film was going to be about, they just had the title. They put a big ad in Variety. I think they said on the 4th of July. Probably cost them a lot of money to put this big ad saying, coming soon, the scariest film ever made, Friday the 13th. And they hadn't even thought what it was going to be about. But it got enough interest, and so they raised the money for it. Like I said, $550,000 the budget was. And they got the film made, and it came out, and it was a big smash. It was a smash hit film. It's often thought of, I suppose, as Halloween's redhead cousin, I suppose. But I like the Friday the 13th films more than the Halloween films, although I do love both franchises. But I do veer more towards Jason. But anyway, right, so that's that. So that's that about the film. I think everybody knows the twist of this film. I won't reveal it until we get there. But anyway, right, so let's get on with the film, shall we? Let's get on with the film. Obviously, we're not just watching the film. We'll, as I always say, we're going to watch it as a series of stills. I'll probably still get a copyright claim. I usually do. But and I'll dispute it. But watching a series of stills may play the odd snippet and all that jazz. Right, so let's get on with it, shall we? So let me full screen this baby. And I'll make myself titchy tiny down in the corner. Oh, hang on, I've got to do that. And pop myself down. Is that the right one? Yes, it is. There we go. Right, so we're off and running. Right, here we go. Here comes the film. Are you ready for it? Is it going to come on? Right, here we go. So it's Paramount. Paramount distributed it in North America. Warner Brothers distributed it around the rest of the world. So there we go. That's why it's a Paramount flick. There we go. A Sean S. Cunningham film. And we begin. We begin with the moon, with a very jerky moon look. So with a camera rig, a bit didn't need a bit of WD-40 on or something, I don't know, but anyway. Right, so we begin. We're at Camp Crystal Lake. There we go, in 1958. So what, 22 years before the film came out, 21 before it was, filmed it. It was made in 1979, released in 1980. So we're at Camp Crystal Lake in 1958. There we go. So here we see them, here all the camp counsellors all singing religious songs because it's the 50s. They weren't playing video games or listening to rock and roll. I suppose they could have been, couldn't they? Because that was around in the 50s. Bit of Bill Haley or Elvis. Anyway. So we begin. Is somebody watching them? We don't know. Obviously. There is, because we get a point of view from in this film, all the kills are essentially from the killer's point of view. And another thing about it, Harry Manfredini and Sean S. Cunningham decided, going into the movie, that the only time that music would play in the film, apart from the opening titles, I think, and the end credits, and the happy ending music at the end of the film. The only time music would play would be when the killer is around. So whenever you hear music, the killer's there. But they make one exception, I think. Anyway, right. So somebody's walking through this. Here the kid is all asleep, and somebody's walking through the room, and one of the kids looks like she's all bleeding. Is it not her? No, there's one of them somewhere. Probably missed it. Oh no, it's a Raggedy Ann doll. Oh, there. When I saw it earlier, when I was watching it just now, I thought, is it a hand doll? Is it a ham all bleeding? But it's a Raggedy Ann doll, isn't it? And we did Annabelle last Friday, didn't we? So there we go. So Devil Doll. So somebody's walking through, checking on the kids. Right, they're all singing. Michael rowed the boat ashore, and then they all finish. This is. I bloody forgot already. I can't remember. They've all got names. Well, the ones that we interact with, I suppose. And I've bloody forgot a name already. Let me check. See if it says. Claudette. There we go. Claudette's playing the guitar. She's got eyes for Barry, as we'll see. So there's Barry. Singing his heart out, bless him, at Claudette. So anyway, they finish off. So they're going to go off and do naughty things somewhere. There's the moon. So here they go. I'm not sure what this is. Is it like some sort of, I don't know, like a barn or something? It must be, but where like they use it for storage. I don't know. It's massive, bigger than my house. But they go upstairs. So anyway, they're getting down to it basically. But somebody's coming in now. We're hearing music as well, by the way. We'll mute it, see if we can hear it. There we go. So somebody's watching them, and it only says, and obviously recognises who it is. I'm not going to say who it is, just in case you don't know until we get there. But I do have my own pet theory about this, and I think other people have suggested what I'm going to suggest later on. But anyway, he gets up. He says, "Oh, it's not what you think. We weren't doing anything." There you go. And then suddenly. He's been stabbed. Oh, I forgot to mute it again, didn't we? He's been stabbed Now, somebody later on in this film, I'm watching by the way, the Blu-ray set. I was watching it on the Blu-ray set with the special features and stuff. And one of the actresses in the film says her husband was really proud that she was the first person to die in a Friday the 13th film. And then I watching it here, and I thought, well, no, she isn't, because Barry's the first person to die in a Friday the 13th film. Anyway, so Claudette runs off, and then she turns round, and then we do here we go. We do a freeze frame, and then a zoom in on the freeze frame. Why? Don't know. But then it fades to white. Is that the phrase? Don't know. And then we get the there we go. Friday the 13th logo. It comes crashing through glass for some reason. There we go. Don't know why. It just does. It's supposed to come I don't know, because it's supposed to be a movie thing, isn't it? You don't have glass on a movie screen. So is it coming through the telly? I don't know. Right, so yes, and there's no cast, no like starring whatever at the beginning of the film. It just comes on. There we go. Director of photography Barry Abrams. He's related to JJ. I don't know. I never checked. Shall we look? Bet he's not. Bet he's not. Where are we? I'm looking at the wrong thing. What do I need to look at? All cast and crew. Barry Abrams. It won't be, but I've got to check, haven't I? Here we go. Here we go. Just a coincidence, probably. Doesn't say. It was cinematographer, an actor. Anything else? No. From Texas. Anyway, never mind. It's just got the same last name. Thank goodness for him. Anyway, right. So off we go. Oh, they've seen the opening titles. There we go. Music by Harry Manfredini. Well, I think he did most of the Friday the 13th films, didn't he? He did a few of them anyway. Steve Miner there, look. Written by Victor Miller. And I think he ended up in like a lawsuit with, I don't know if Paramount or the production company that ended up with Friday the franchise. Because if you noticed from, I don't know, I think we're after 8. After Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. None of them were called Friday the 13th anymore until the remake. Because I think he claimed, it was his property. So took him to court, so they stopped using it. It became like Jason X and Jason Goes to Hell and Freddy vs. Jason and stuff like that. But anyway. Producing director Sean S. Cunningham. I don't know what the S stands for. Maybe it stands for Sean as well. I don't know. Maybe it's Sean and Sean, the two spellings of it. I don't know. I could look, couldn't I? But I can't be bothered. Hang on, I can look. He's here, look. Sexton. Sean Sexton Cunningham. Cool name. Sexton. Right, so here we are. We're in Blairsville. They go Friday, June the 13th, the present. I think the whole film takes place on this one day until Saturday the 14th, which was also a film, wasn't it, starring Richard Benjamin, which were crap as far as I remember. I've only seen it once. Anyway, but this was filmed in not Blairsville, Blairstown. I've forgotten already. Yes, Blairstown in New Jersey. It was filmed in New Jersey, and it kind of reminded me of the Blair Witch Project, because that town was originally called Blair, wasn't it? And then it became Burkittsville in the Blair Witch Project. But anyway, whatever. It was filmed in this town, and it was filmed also in a town called Hope in New Jersey, and also at Camp Crystal Lake that we're going to see, which is in Blairstown. Well, Camp Nobobosco, Nobebosco, and it stands for something like, I've forgotten, North something Boy Scouts. I've forgotten what it stands for, but it's an acronym. But anyway, whatever. Right. So here we go. Here we're meeting Annie, played by Robbie Morgan, I think. Let me double check. Come on, Annie, where are you? Yes, Robbie Morgan. Here she is. She's going to be the cook at the camp, and she's hitchhiking in for some reason. So here she is in the town. A nice little town. Now then, there was something I was going to say. I remember watching this earlier on and thought, I'll mention that, and I've forgotten. I should take notes, shouldn't I? Maybe music's playing. Hang on, let's check. No, it's not. Not me. So here she is, anyway. And I think she's the prettiest girl in the film, and unfortunately she doesn't last very long. Spoilers. So anyway, she's talking to this dog and saying, wanted to know where Camp Crystal Lake is. Obviously, the dog doesn't answer. So she heads into a diner or a shop or whatever this is. And she goes in, and there's a. She goes in, and she says, "Just it's a American Werewolf in London thing." Although that came out a year later, didn't it? After this, but she comes in, and they're all talking away and listening to music. And she was like, "How far's Crystal Lake from here?" And if it were me making this film, I'd have like done a record scratch. But as everybody looks round and somebody playing darts saying, "You made me miss." Anyway, so she asked that, and apparently it's 20 miles from the town is Camp Crystal Lake. There she is. She's lovely. I think she's very pretty too. So anyway. So it's about 20 miles. Then Enos, which is this fella, is going that way as far as the crossroads, which is about halfway. So it can take her about 10 miles. This woman just politely announces, "Oh, you're going to Camp Blood, are you?" So that's what it was called, because obviously things happened there in the past. They're opening that place up again. Anyway, so she's asking, can she get a bus? And saying, no, not really. This fella looks familiar, and I can't think. I don't. It probably just got one of those faces, and I don't know. Because I don't think he'll be in the cast list. I don't think he's got any. He's not even got any lines. He's probably got a name, but I couldn't tell you what it is. I couldn't tell you. Anyway. Tom Savini gets a credit as Killer's Hands. Anyway, never mind. Right. Where were we? Anyway, yeah, we go. So Enos here, with the hat on, with the cap, is going to take her halfway to the crossroads. I keep forgetting to mute it. Right, so off they go. So she's all happy now. And this is where we meet Crazy Ralph. He comes out saying, "You're going, you're doomed. That place is cursed." Oh, there he is, look. Crazy Ralph. No, there he is, Crazy Ralph. So they're saying, leave people alone. You'll never come back. Anyway, so I gets in the truck. Here we go. There's a number on it. Waterloo Road, Stanhope, New Jersey. Right, so off they go. Ray gets on his bike and cycles off. So off they go, heading towards Camp Crystal Lake, a.k.a. Camp Blood. She's talking about how she's going to be cooking for 50 kids and 10 people, and she always wanted to work with kids, etc. Blah blah blah. And then there you go, she's saying that there. And Enos is asking, did Steve, who's running the place, I forgot his last name, Steve Christie. Steve Christie's opening up the place. Apparently it belonged to his parents, and he spent like $25,000 in the last year doing the place up and getting ready to open it up again. And Enos is saying, it's a waste of time because it is, it's a jinxed place. Because everybody knows that Jason Voorhees died there in 1957, and then there were the murders a year later, and then other things happened. There were a fire, and they're going to open it up again another time, and the water was bad, whatever that means. But anyway, so he's telling her all this, but she was unaware of all this stuff. There we go. There he goes, telling it's jinxed. Right. So anyway, so she ends up saying, "At least I don't believe in ghosts," and all that stuff. So yeah, anyway, he ends up smiling. They have a smile. Look, there we go. He doesn't try it on with her. He says she's pretty, and he cops a feel when he's pushing her into the truck earlier on. But apart from that, she's fine. Right, so here we go. So he's letting her off here at the Moravian Cemetery, Hope, New Jersey. There you go. That's where they are. So off she goes. He's heading somewhere else. East Proctor's that way, and all about here at Moors. I go this way. So that's if you know the reference, you know it. So off he goes. Which way did he go, by the way? Does he? No, he carries straight on. So she must be heading towards the camera. Right. So now then, bluegrass music plays. I wouldn't know bluegrass music if you played it to me. Oh, it's chase music, isn't it? Hillbilly chase music, that's what it is. Anyway, so this was I suppose it's a truck, isn't it? A pickup truck with a thing on the back. Is heading there, and this is where we're meeting. Here's Kevin Bacon as Jack. Um, I'm going to have to check it out because I can't bloody remember. Who else we got? I think that is it Marcy? Janine Taylor as Marcy there, and that is Ned, played by Mark Nelson. And Marcy and Jack are an item, but Ned's trying his luck. He tries it on with a few of the women. And he's the comedy relief, I suppose, the happy-go-lucky type. Was always joking and doing pranks and stuff like that. Kind of annoying. Anyway, so there you go. Is sex all you ever think about, Ned? So anyway, so they're heading. There are three more of the councillors. Here they are. They've arrived at Camp Crystal Lake. There we go. Established 1935. There's Steve Christie trying to get this tree stump up. So they all arrive and he immediately sets them to work. There's Alice, played by Adrienne King. She's the star of the... Well, Betsy Palmer's the star of the film. She gets top billing. But next on the list is Adrienne King as Alice, the final girl. Spoilers. Anyway, so here she is. Right, so they get that tree stump up there. Introductions made. So he's saying, right, we've got work to do. We've got to get on with it. Blah blah blah. Painting and cleaning and all that stuff. So there we go. So Alice is now doing a guttering, and Steve is helping. And this is where we learn that I think something's gone on between them. But she's saying she's actually going to leave. She's going to go back to California. I'm guessing she's from California. For whatever reason, I don't know, but I think they might have had a fling or something's happened. But he talks her into staying for another week. So, we see that she draws, but that doesn't have any relevance to the film. She's just got a sketch pad, and he's saying she draws very well. Never see it again. But anyway, she's drawn a picture of him. But anyway, there you go. You're very pretty. But I get the suggestion that something's already gone on between them. But anyway, there you go. Give me another chance. Or does it just mean give me another chance at working here? Working for me. I don't know, but it's kind of. She says, "All right, I'll give you another week. I'll stay till next Friday," and then he does that. So he's got feelings for her, and it's kind of creepy. But anyway, right. So this bit now. Now this is a weird bit. If it's the bit I'm thinking of, because we get some music. Remember. Only music when the killer's around. There you go, there's music. There's Alice heading down there. So obviously somebody's watching her. It looks like somebody's watching her from behind a tree, doesn't it? So she goes down there looking for... speaking to Bill, who's Harry Crosby. As I said, Bing Crosby, one of Bing Crosby's kid. Uncle of Denise Crosby, Tasha Yar. So she's talking to him. And then she comes back. And the music's still playing, I think. Yes, you can hear it quietly. Yes, you can hear the music. So obviously somebody's watching her, the killer, we presume. But she's obviously, I don't know, are they chameleon? Because she can't see him, or she's got no peripheral vision whatsoever because she walks right by him. So I'm guessing, that was the killer watching from behind that tree. Must be a predator. I don't know. Anywho. Right, Steve's heading out in his Jeep, which is interesting, as we'll see. He'll be back sometime after lunch, so they've got work to do. But they're just going to goof off. Is it going to show his Jeep? Because it's relevant. Why isn't it showing it? Hang on, go back again. It might be later on. When it shows the rest of his Jeep. No, it ain't showing it, is it? Must be later on. Right. Oh, here we go. There it is. There it is, a Jeep. Shush. A Jeep, with white wall wheels, and we see another one shortly. Is it the same one? I don't know. When we get to it, I will let you know. Anyway, right. So here's Brenda, I think. Brenda, who's played by Brenda. Laurie Bartram. She's at the archery course, whatever you want to call it. Setting up targets. So she sets up. Oh, for Pete's sake. Here we go. Sets up this target. By the way, her eyes. I don't. She's got very Natalie Portman eyes. I think she was just like Natalie Portman in her eyes. She sets this target up, and then bang, an arrow goes in and shocks her, obviously. And it's Ned messing about. Could have killed her, but luckily he's a good shot. And I think it's Tom Savini that actually did that shot. I think it would have got a lot closer than we imagine. But anyway, so there we go. So he's joking with her. And then she's going to get him. So I'm thinking Ned's probably thinking he's in here, but he ain't. Anyway, so here's I forgot her name already. Annie, carrying on walking, and she sticks her thumb out, and here we go. We see another Jeep. I don't know if we see it from the outside first. Yes, we do. Here we go. Another Jeep. Oh, we've got a quick look at it then. So she gets in. Doesn't show us who it is. I don't know if music's playing either. Let's see. No music playing. But she gets in the Jeep. It doesn't show us who it is, but it's another. It's not the same. Is it Steve's Jeep? I don't know. We'll learn later. It's not. But there's more than one Jeep in this town. But did they do it on purpose? Spoilers: the killer is in this Jeep. The killer's driving this Jeep. Did they do it to make us think that Steve is the killer? Is Steve driving the Jeep? It looks like a fella when we see this. Hang on, let's go back again. There is a shot where it's a very male silhouette. But anyway, so she's talking away. She seems, at ease with the whoever is driving. It's not showing us. Talking about how she wants to work with kids, etc. Much like before with Enos. But anyway, she drives straight past the turn off for Camp Crystal Lake. There we go. Camp Crystal Lake. That's a way. He says, "Oh, I've missed the turning. I think we should stop." But obviously, it doesn't stop. So she leaps out. Oh, for Pete's sake, I keep forgetting to mute it. She leaps out of a moving vehicle. By the way, there's no stunt people in this film. They all did their own stunts. So there we go. Apparently. So she jumps out. Probably hurts herself a little bit. The killer backs up and heads off into the woods. And you heard music playing, by the way. So that means the killer's around. So she's being chased through the woods by a bloke, obviously. Very mannish. But anyway, so there she is running, and she falls over. She trips up and falls over, and then she gets up, and then she sees that the killer is standing there in front of her, and then gets probably a third kill of the movie, because we don't forget Barry and Claudette at the beginning. But get a cool neck slicing. I said Tom Savini did the makeup effects for this film. Apparently just turned up in his car, him and his assistant, Tasso. Is it Tasso? I think his name's Tasso. A Greek chap of Greek descent. Turned up in his car, opened up his boot, got all his equipment in there and all his makeup effects stuff, and sorted all these things out. So here, this one is just a neck appliance, that makes it do all that. Simple stuff, but effective. So poor Annie's not going to be cooking for 50 kids and 10 counsellors anymore. Right. Here they are, the rest of them that's arrived. It's supposed to be 10 counsellors, so we've got, 3, 6, it's only 7, isn't there? 8, I suppose, if you include. I'm including Annie in that, and Steve. So there's 6, and then Annie and Steve, that's 8. So was the other 2? They're just not turned up, or they're arriving later. Don't know. Anyway, they're all getting ready with this pontoon. Is that what they call it? A pontoon? I don't know. They're floating out the last section for that bit there. So then having fun and games and all that. They're in the bikinis. Kevin Baker's in his trunks, because it was the 70s, early 80s. trunks, no speedos or huge swimming pants. But I think they're being watched. Do we hear music? I forgot to. No music there. But they are being watched. Now they're all relaxing. Here we go. Yes, they are being watched. A very man's hand with a ring on it. Just thought I'd say that. No reason. Right, but Marcy, no, Brenda sees something. Marcy's saying, what's the matter? Did you see something? Brenda sees something in the trees. The predators in the trees, so to speak. Anyway, they're all having fun and games and all that stuff. Alright, and then there was something's wrong with Ned. They're getting ready to go. Look, Ned's drowning. So Brenda and somebody else, Jack. Brenda and Jack do leap into action to save Ned. They get a canoe out. I think they tell Alice, get a life preserver. And it all ends hilariously. So as we see, there we go. As we see, look, where is he? It seemed like he was miles out in the middle of the lake, and then suddenly, there we go. He pops up there. Alice here's Alice with the life preserver, and that's it. Look, they're there, 2 feet from the raft, pontoon, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, they get him out and start doing mouth to mouth, but it's another prank, kissing Brenda. So, oh, Neddy, you're such a wag. I suppose it's good practice for him, isn't it? I suppose. Anywho, so later on the day. She's in her cabin, is Alice, and there's a snake. Controversial scene, this. There's a snake. It's a harmless snake. I can't remember what sort of snake it is. I did look it up, but I've forgotten. I should take notes, but it's a harmless snake. It's not a black mamba or anything like that. But anyway, she panics and she goes, Bill's doing some gardening or whatever. So he comes running in. Action hero, Harry Crosby, says, there's a snake. So they're looking for it, and all the others arrive. And they flush it out. And I'll try not to show it, but they do actually kill the snake. Whoever wields the machete, I don't know if it was Harry Crosby or somebody else, they actually killed the snake, and apparently the snake handler were really angry and upset about it because nobody told him that they were going to kill his snake. Apparently, they were inconsolable. But anyway, so the snake gets killed. Oh, it's good, I missed it. I didn't want to show it. I don't like seeing animals being killed in films, but they did actually chops it up basically. A real live snake. Right, so what's going on now? Yes, Ned's messing about again, pretending to be I suppose back in those days he'd have said I'm being an Indian, wouldn't he? But anyway, Chips is here, even though it's New Jersey. The local police bicycle man says he's looking for Crazy Ralph. Crazy Ralph's been reported, that he's around here somewhere. And says, we haven't seen him. So he doesn't like these kids, probably doing their drugs and stuff like that. There you go, you've been smoking, bar. But no, we haven't seen anybody, officer, and all that stuff. So off he goes back to town. Kevin Baker's checking out his bike. There we go. Chief wants you back in town. Dorf, because that's his name. Who is he? Who plays Dorf? Let's have a look. Dorf, where are you? Officer Dorf. Ron Milky, whoever he is. Anywho, right, so he heads back into town. And there, warns the kids, keep your noses clean. Right, so later on, I think they're getting ready for dinner and all that. She finds Crazy Ralph in the pantry. There he is. And he's saying the same stuff again. You're all doomed. There you go. You're doomed if you stay here. And then some others come in. Say, you must be Ralph. I think they said after, that must have been Ralph. So there we go. Get out of here, man. So off he goes. Gets on his bike and bicycles off back to town. And they said, that must have been Ralph. He goes, "You're all doomed." Oh, yes, and I forgot, they're playing music here. In a minute. I've muted it. Hang on. You can hear it, you can hear the music. As it cycles off, you can hear it better, I think. Music! Are they trying to make us think that Ralph's the killer? Spoilers, he's not. I think he's in the second film as well. Does he get killed in the second film? I can't remember. But in the third film, they have a similar character, but I don't think it's Crazy Ralph. Anyway. I may be wrong on that. I might be having a Mandela effect going on. Anyway, off he goes. There we go. Sorry, it's playing. Right, so they're preparing dinner now. Right, here we go. She's Alice finds out that the electricity is not working properly. So we learn that there's a generator, an emergency generator, and I think it's Bill and Jack go and sort it out. So off they go. Here we go to the generator shed and get the generator going. There's Brenda there as well. Right, so they've got power. Jack and Marcy are dancing on a log. So there they go. Here's Ned looking at them, being a bit sad because he's not going to jump anybody's bones, basically. But anyway, so he heads out to this cabin. This kind of spooky, this bit. See if I can land on it. Here we go. We see like just a shadowy figure. Sorry, I'm getting the chills because it did actually give me the chills. Hang on. Yes, I muted it. Look, a shadowy figure there. We just see a glimpse. We don't see who it really is. But Ned sees. We hear creaking. Says, "Who's there?" But we just see this figure, shadowy figure, heading to this cabin. So he goes to check out who it is. And I wonder what happens to Ned. We will see, won't we? Anyway, Jack and Marcy, they're going to head to that very same cabin for some nookie, basically. They're talking about Ned. Where is he? And he keeps acting like a jerk, etc. So, I think lightning starts flashing now. Do we see it here? Hang on, it comes down in a minute. It's obviously just somebody shining the light in their face. Look, it's supposed to be lightning. But so we're going to get some rain, a lot of rain soon, and lightning and thunder, etc. Right, so they're going to head to that cabin. There we go, the rain's starting now. Look, here comes the rain. I think we see a beaver, or is that later? Might be later. Right, so then to this cabin with all the bunk beds, and they're going to get down to something. Right, so then to this bunk bed, and we're going to see something shortly. But when first time I watched it, I thought, I've seen it loads of times, by the way, but not seen it for a while until today. And they're coming up to the bunk bed here, and I'm like, why can't they see what we're going to see in a minute? But there is a reason. So I can't knock them for it. Anyway, she takes off her pants. There we go. Because we know what they're going to do, don't we, blummy number? There we go. They're getting on with it now, look. There we go. Right. Meanwhile, back at one of the other cabins, the Comanche cabin, it says there. Alice is worrying. She's saying, calling on Jack and Marcy. She's giving monkeys about Ned. They'll get wet through, she says. And the others say, they think they know where they are. They'll be fine. There we go. Bill says that. Bill's playing the guitar. And apparently, on the set, everybody said that Harry Crosby, a really nice fella, he didn't big up his family name or anything. He just kept to himself. When they weren't filming, and he'd just sit in a corner or whatever and just play the guitar and stuff like that. And they said he was a really nice chap. And I don't think he did much acting. I think he's a businessman now. I think if he's still alive, I think he is. He don't do acting. Anyway, that's a scary raccoon there, isn't it? It's like it's going to get her. Do raccoons do that? I don't know. We don't have raccoons in the UK. Unfortunately, because they're kind of cool animals, aren't they, raccoons? Anyway, whatever. So he's playing his way. They're going to play Monopoly. Brenda has the idea to play Monopoly. And Alice says she hates Monopoly. Brenda says, we're going to play Strip Monopoly. So whenever you land on a hotel or whatever, instead of paying money, you have to pay with an item of clothing. There we go. So they're going to get ready for that. So meanwhile, Jack and Marcy are at it. There we go. There they are. All right, and then the camera pans up, and we see poor Ned has had his throat cut. But as you can see, the reason they didn't see him on the bed, somebody's blocked the view of him. He's on that side of the bed. So poor Ned, he's gone. But anyway. Right, so they're getting on with their thingamabobs. Ooh, I better be careful. Well, you steady. Ooh, crikey, that was close, wasn't it? A bit of Marcy boob. Sorry. Anyway, right, so she gets up. She needs to go to the loo. So he says, be quick. So off she goes to the loo. It's in a different building, by the way. So he's going to lie down and wait for her. Now, going to one of the most famous, probably the most famous scene of the film. They're still playing street poker. There we go, having fun, getting beer. He's going to smoke some drugs. I'm guessing it's drugs. A bit of marijuana or whatever. So he gets that, and then a drip of blood, obviously Ned's blood. There we go, drops on him, on his head there, and then somebody grabs him and. There we go. And shoves a blooming arrowhead through his neck, and killing off Kevin Bacon. So there you go. It's Tom Savini underneath, by the way, shoving it through and blowing blood up through pipes and stuff. And apparently it went all over him because it all went wrong. But it was a one-take thing. But they got it to work. Obviously, they didn't really kill Kevin Bacon. He's fine, as we all know. Right, so, what's this? Who's this? Is this, this is Marcy, heading to the loo. As I said, it's in another building. So in she goes. Right, so, I think she hears somebody coming. There we go, I hear a door creaking. So there goes, but she doesn't see anybody. And then she starts doing, I think it's Katharine Hepburn. Hang on, I will play it for you. I think it's Katharine Hepburn she's doing an impression of, but I could be wrong.
I looked into that mirror, I knew I'd always be ugly. I said, Lizzie.
Is it Katharine Hepburn? I think it is, isn't it? Anywho, doing a good impression. So she's got comedy chops, but then she hears a noise and she thinks it's the Ned or Jack teasing her. So she's sneaking about in her underplugs, and she doesn't see him. But then behind, she looks through there. Behind, we see a shadow of an axe. Keep forgetting to mute it. And then she turns around. She turns around and just goes for ages. Instead of running off, she just goes and then she gets an axe in her head. Hang on. Like so. She gets an axe to the face. It's not real, don't worry. Apparently, one of the first things when they were planning this scene, the first thing that Tom Savini said, do you want a real head and a fake axe, or a fake head and a real axe? Because anything's possible. They went for the real head and fake axe. Right, so they're still playing strip poker because he's already lost his shirt. As Bill, and Brenda's lost her shirt as well. And then the door comes open because it's windy and rainy. And then Brenda realises, I think I left the cabin windows open. So she says, we'll have to stop playing for tonight. That's it, the game's over. And then, hang on. And then instead of just putting the clothes back on, I don't know why does she just put her clothes back on? She just gathers up, there we go, she gets a Macintosh, whatever you want to call it, a raincoat, and just heads out there. Why she put her clothes on? I don't know, but she bids them good night. There she goes, heads back to her cabin, and all that jazz. Right, so we're at a diner in Blairstown now. It is actually in Blair because we see a menu in a minute. There's Steve's Jeep. Steve's, maybe the killer's Jeep, don't know, but anyway, Steve's Jeep. So he's in there having coffee or whatever. There you go, Blairstown Diner, says there on that menu. Look. So he's heading back. I bet he's been there for ages and he just didn't want to go back. He's like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to deal with all them bloody horny not preteen, horny early 20s, late teens, early 20s. I think it's early 20s probably. I don't want to go, but I've got to. So anyway, so off he goes. By the way, for some reason, I really like what's she called now? Does it say Sandy? Sandy. For some reason, I really like Sandy. Not in that way. In a like I think she's funny and she's nice, and there we go. So just think she's cool. I don't know why, but anyway, so he heads out in his Jeep because he's towing something. Don't know what he's towing. Doesn't tell us. Anyway, so off he goes. He's heading to Crystal Lake. Tomahawk Lake's 25 miles away. Anyway, Brenda's in the shower thing. I don't know, but she's there. It's where we've just seen Marcy get killed, isn't it? And she hears a noise, but somebody's watching her. Music's probably playing. There we go. We see a hand on presumably these are the showers, aren't they? These would be the showers, won't they? Hand looking at her. Spooky. But don't worry, she doesn't get got yet. She's fine. She was brushing her teeth. That's what she was doing. Right, Steve's broken down. I don't know why. Why is he broken down? I don't know. His car won't start. The Jeep won't start. Maybe it's bogged down. Maybe it's just... I don't know. But he's off the road, so I don't know where he were going. But anyway... It won't start, but look at the police arrive, the sheriff or whatever. Does he have a name? I don't know if he ever mentions his name. It's a sergeant. Sergeant Tierney. Not the sheriff, is the Sarge. Sergeant Tierney. He arrives and gives him a lift. So, there we go. Says, can you give me a lift? It says, I thought that'd get through anything. Says, well, not towing a trailer. Pardon me. He says, I'll get one of the counsellors to bring me back tomorrow. So he's having a police escort back to the camp. Right. So off he goes. So now we know that Steve's Jeep is broken down. Remember that. Right, so is this Brenda? Yes, Brenda's in her cabin now. Lights a candle. Candles in films are amazing, aren't they? Each candle's got like 1 million candle power somehow, but there you see, she lights that up, and then she turns off this light, and then there's hardly any difference. Hardly any difference. Anyway, she's going to read by candlelight. There we go, she's in bed, reading by candlelight. As I said, eyes, Natalie Portman eyes. She's reading by candlelight. But then she hears a scream. And then she hears somebody... No, she doesn't hear a scream. She hears a woman's voice or a girl's voice saying, help me! It might come on subtitles if I get the right thing. They're going to do it. There we go. Girl, help me! We hear that. Which is another clue for later in the film if you don't know the twist. Anyway, so she keeps hearing it, so she's got to go and check it out. And so she heads out. I think just as she doesn't even put the raincoat on, I don't think. No, she just heads out, look. Saying, who needs help? And she's saying, please help me, come over here, I need help. There we go, come quickly. So I think she ends up on the archery range. Yes, she does, there she does. And all the lights come on. There she is, bedraggled. Not looking like Natalie Portman now, is she? All bedraggled. And then we just hear a scream. There we go. Screaming. We don't know what happens to her. We do later, but not yet. And Alice hears the scream. Here's Alice in... Is it the community room or whatever? I don't know, but it's got a piano. She's there with Bill's guitar. She hears the scream, and Bill comes back and says, I thought I heard a scream. And she says, and the archery range lights have come on. She must have seen it through the window. So he goes and checks. Hang on. In a minute. Go on, I was going to say. Oh. They do anyway. He checks it. And she says, oh, they've gone off now. They were on. So he's going to check what's going on. And she goes with him. So he's got his red coat on, and she's got her yellow coat on. There we go. So they go to the cabin, Brenda's cabin. She's not there, but they find a bloody axe in her bed. Says, what's going on? So they go to the other cabin where Marcy and where Jack and Ned met a sad fate, but they don't see anything. So there they go. And then they head to the toilet block. They don't see anything in there. There we go. Oh no, that's something else. So she says we should call the police or something. So the phone is in the office, in Steve's office, but where's the key? And she says, I don't know. And then she has an idea, and I thought, oh, maybe she's realised, maybe she knows the key is under a rock or something. But no, she's just looking for a bit of wood to smash the glass. There we go. And she unlocks the door from inside. Anyway, so in they go. But the phone line is being cut, and he says the phone's not working. He says, try the pay phone. He says, do you have a dime or a quarter? But then we see, there we go. The phone line's being cut. There we go. They try the car. Is it Jack's car and Ned's car? Ned were driving it, wasn't it? I don't know whose car it is. We'll say it's Ned's. But it's not working. It's not starting. And she says, why won't it start? And he goes, it's wet. You haven't got very reliable cars in New Jersey. I'm sorry, you just haven't. But Steve's car broken down. This car broken down. Somebody else's car later on is working perfectly. That looks a lot like Steve's car. But anyway. Here we go. They're dropping Steve off near the camp. Because we hear there's like... I was talking about the full moon. But talking about Friday the 13th and the full moon. Because it's a full moon as well. And he's saying that more things happen on the full moon. And Steve says, you're making coincidence a science. Anyway. So... there's been some sort of accident, maybe fatalities, so he's got to go and check on that as Sergeant Turney. So he drops him off. There we go, rescue squad with jaws of life. So he's got to go and deal with that. So he drops Steve off. It's not far now, so he heads into the camp. There we go, it's not far. And he gets to the here he comes. He gets to the sign, and then a flashlight comes on and shines in his face. There we go, and he says, "Oh, who's that?" And then he goes up to him and he recognises who it is. Oh, it's you. What are you doing out in this mess? And then something happens to him. Like that. Something happens to him. So, what's happened to Steve? We shall see. Meanwhile, where are they now? What's going on here? I've forgotten. I think somebody's gone into the... Now we're going to the generator shed and turned off the power. Is that what's going to happen there? There we go. Is that turning off the power, or does that just fade into black? I think that's just fading to black, isn't it? But it's supposed to signify the power going out. Generator stops. But they probably couldn't do that. We'll just fade out, and it'll look like the power's gone off. Anywho, so there's Bill. Getting lanterns out. There we go. She's having a snooze, so she's not that bothered about, their predicament, is she? But she doesn't know that people are dead yet, does she? But no, something's up. Anyway, Bill's going out to check on stuff. There we go, check on the generator. And I think he's going to get got now. What happens? I can't remember what happens. Does something happen to him? Oh, there we go, screams. Something's happened to him. Something's happened to Bill. So she's going to go and check it out now. No, she's going to make a cuppa, I think. Yes, she's putting sugar in a cup, and then there we go. She's getting the sugar out. There we go, putting sugar in, and then she decides to have a. Is it? Oh, it's not that bit yet. I thought it was that bit. She's going to find Bill. That's it. She goes to the generator room, finds his coats there. Where's Bill gone? There we go. But as she comes out, she actually reacts kind of before she sees. Are you ready? So here we go. He's there. Bill's there. Taped to the door. Super glued to the door. And she kind of reacts before she even sees. Look. She's like going out before she's even seen properly. There he is. So how is he fastened to the door? That thing must be super glued, because them arrows are not going through the door. You'd see them, wouldn't you? Super glue. It must be super glue. So poor Bill, poor Harry Crosby's caught for it. 3 arrows, one in the eye, one in the heart, I suppose, ish, and one in one in through his actual jeans. Because Tom Savini was saying we actually had to cut a hole in Harry Crosby's actual jeans, but he was fine with it. Anywho, so she goes off running. He goes back into the cabin. She can't lock the door for some reason, so she ties it up with rope and then barricades the door. She closes these curtains, but not the other curtains at the other side for some weird reason. There you go. She closes them curtains, but not them. Anyway, then starts barricading the door and gets a baseball bat. And then she hears a noise, and then she thinks, oh, it's nothing, and she leans against the fridge. But then Brenda comes back into the film. Here she comes through the window. I don't think that were Brenda. Maybe they did have some stunt people, or maybe it was just a dummy that chucked through the window. I don't know, but there we go. Brenda's all tied up in rope and dead. So she's like, oh no, what's going on? Oh, Brenda. Oh my God. So she takes her coat off for some reason. She just does. She goes running out, and then a car arrives. So she sees a car arriving. They're going to show it. There it is. A car arrives. A jeep arrives. So she undoes a barricade and all that, and goes running out. This is where we meet Pamela Voorhees. Betsy Palmer enters the film. There you go. She's got a jeep, look, just like Steve's. It says, who are you? Because she thinks it's Steve. Because Steve's got a jeep as well. Oh, crikey. There we go. I'm Mrs. Voorhees, an old friend of the Christies. Don't trust Alice. But, she's going to take care of her. And she said, they're all dead. And she says, I'm not afraid. So they go looking round, and then we learn that she starts talking about what happened to Jason in 1957, and then and all that stuff. There you go. The year before, those 2 others were killed. Jason drowned while all the others were ignoring him. The counsellors were ignoring him. But he says, I was working there, cooking and doing stuff, so why didn't she go save him? But never mind. Anyway, so this is where we learned that the killer is Pamela Voorhees. So there we go. We get a glimpse of young Jason. You see, Jason was my son, my only child, and so she's been going around killing everybody essentially, so they don't open the place up again. So they go, a sweet innocent Jason. And then she goes mental, and then so they have a fight, and he just knocks her to the ground. She goes running off. Pamela gets up and starts going, kill them, mummy, kill them, and all that. Here we go. And this is where we get the ki, ma from. Everybody keeps saying it's ch, it isn't. It's because Harry Manfredini, describes how he did it. It's the ki from kill her and the ma from mommy. Ki, ma. He put it through an echoplex or something like that, whatever they call it. I don't know. Some synthesizer thing. She's crackers. Is Betsy Palmer in this? Betsy Palmer apparently, I didn't know her before this. She was starred in the 50s and 60s, 70s of stage, screen, and TV, and she was known in America as like girl next door, Doris Day type of actress. Super attractive and all that, and squeaky clean. But apparently, when you got to know her, she had she told lots of dirty jokes and stuff. But her public image was all squeaky clean. And then she did this. But the reason she did this film is because she needed $10,000, and that just happened to be how much they were paying her for this. Her car broke down. She said she had a Mercedes, and it just conked out and broke down. So she went to buy a new car, and she found a Scirocco, Is that a Volkswagen Scirocco? Or was there another car called a Scirocco? I know Volkswagen did one. But apparently that car cost $9,999.50, she said. Anyway, her age, and she said, you know, universe, help me get this car. And then she said, the Friday after or whatever, her agent phoned and said, do you want to do a film? And she went, yeah. And he says, it's 10 days work, $1,000 a day. And I think she's one of the highest paid person on the film, by the way. So that's her 10 grand she's getting. So she said, I can buy my car now. And then her agent said, unfortunately, it's a horror film. And she went, because, you know, she's a star of stage, screen and television. Anyway, they sent her the script and she thought it were crap. But then she thought, well, if I do it, I'll get me 10 grand, I can buy my car. It's a rubbish film. Nobody'll know, you know, it'll never get seen, or not many people will see it, you know, it'll pass people by, and but I'll get my car. Little did she know, you know, she'd become one of the most famous killers in history. Anyway, right, where were we? So that's the Betsy Palmer story. Right, so she's after Alice now. So Alice is running about looking for stuff and hiding and all that jazz. Pamela's trying to find her. Oh, she finds a rifle, but there's no bullets. So she tries to break off, there we go, the padlock. Presumably the bullets are in this padlock drawer. They're not doing it with the butt of a rifle, love, and she doesn't. She doesn't get the bullets. They're hard enough. Have you ever tried breaking? I've said this before. Have you ever tried breaking the padlock? It's really, really hard. With like a, you know, unless you've got proper equipment, but like just smashing off really hard to smash off a padlock. Anyway, right, so she doesn't get that. But anyway, here comes Pamela. She aims the gun at her, but obviously there's no bullets in it. So she says, it's going to be easy if you're doing it. What's for Jason? Because she's going to kill her. So anyway, so they have another fight, and there we go. And she slaps, there we go, she slaps Alice about a bit. There we go, psh, tsh, psh, tsh, and all that. And then she knocks her down again, and she goes running off. She keeps knocking her down, she keeps running off. And so she gets back up again. Tub thumping, she gets knocked down, but she gets up again, etc. Chumbawamba, whatever. Right, so she's out. Now we're looking for Alice. Alice is go on, pop your head up. There we go. Oh dear. So she goes running off the other direction. She can't hide, no place to hide. Anyway, she does hide. She hides in a pantry, I think. In a minute, is this it? A pantry with a proper sturdy door. There she is, she's hiding in there. I think she's locked it. So, you know, can't get in. Then she hears footsteps and stuff. I actually like this scene. I did. I thought this was quite effective. You know, she's hiding in there, being quiet. And then she can hear glass breaking, you know, in the distance, and you know, distant footsteps. Then the light comes on, and we see Pamela stomping about in the room, and we hear glasses shaking. And then she just walks away. We hear the footsteps getting further away. She thinks, "Oh, I'm safe," but she's just waiting. Then as she's waiting, we'll see what's the door handle in a minute. There you go. The door handle's going. So Pamela's trying to get in. She's come back, and then she starts hitting the door. I think she's just got a machete. Maybe that's why. But she hasn't been doing much to the door. Eventually she breaks it. Yes, she's just got a machete. So they're fighting again. Here we go. She got a frying pan, by the way. Whacks her with a frying pan. Knocks her over. Vuahi screams. Knocks her over. And she thinks she's done for now, because she checks her head. There you go. You see the blood coming out. So she thinks, ha ha, I've won. So she goes running out, leaves her there, heading down to the lake for some reason. Why don't she take her car? Why don't she take her keys or whatever, and get into Pamela Voorhees' Jeep and drive away? Don't know. She just heads down to the lake shore for some reason and sits next to her. Sits next to her canoe. And Pamela comes back again. Start fighting. I like this bit actually. There you go. She does that. She chops the oar, paddle, whatever you want to call it, in half, and then there's this cool bit where she's like with the paddle, and I wonder how many takes that. I wonder if that were like first take, and she's like, oh, I've just managed to grab hold of the other half of the paddle. Anyway, they carry on fighting. She knocks the machete out of Pamela's hands. And get knocked down. Oh, and then she's beating each other up on the sand. There we go, like so. And then she gets away. Does Alice? And then the famous scene's coming up. There we go. She gets picks up the machete, and then for some reason it goes into slow motion now. I don't know why. There we go. I don't know why it goes into slow motion, but it just does. Maybe she's bionic, but we don't get the. And she got the machete, and Pamela just goes, ah! Instead of like running off or whatever, she just stands there, and she swinging a hit. There we go. Chops off Pamela Voorhees' head, which obviously didn't really. Prosthetic head, held on with toothpicks. You can actually see them there, toothpicks. It's actually these are, as you can see, it's a man's hand. Put the ring on. It's Tasso Stavrikos or something like that. I've forgotten. Hang on, I will look. Where the makeup department? Tasso, yes, Stavrakis. There we go. That's Tasso as Pamela. There, with his hairy hands. But and obviously he's there, and he were like that, and the head were like on his shoulder, on his back there. They chopped that bit off, and he just did that with his arms. Cool effect, a cool effect. So, so that's the end of Pamela Voorhees. There we go. Then still got a full moon look, and she decides she's gonna get in a canoe and just paddle out to the middle of the lake for whatever reason. Why don't she just take Pamela Voorhees' car? I don't know. Maybe she can't drive. Maybe that might be it, because she was going to get a bus at home. Apparently earlier on, before she was going to get a bus home, so maybe she can't drive. Not everybody can drive, I suppose. Anyway, there she is in the lake. By the way, music. They're playing music. This is where they're playing music when it's not just the killer. They're playing like happy ending music, which Harry Manfredini took from a country and western song he wrote, but he adapted it for this. So anyway, the police arrive. Look, there they are. The police arrive, and she's in the lake. She thinks she's safe. Then they wanted to go for another. What did he call it? A chair jumper, making people jump out of the seats at the end of the film, like in Carrie. When Carrie's hand came out of the grave, which I always thought were overrated because I didn't think it never made me jump. But anyway. So she's there, and then there we go. Up pops Jason out of the lake and drags her in. But was it all a dream? I don't actually know. It doesn't make it clear, because then there we go. She wakes up in the hospital, but the Sergeant Tierney's there, and he says his two officers pulled her out of the lake. So, and they said they didn't see a little boy. She says, he must still be there. So, did that really happen, or was it a dream? We don't know. But the ghost of Jason, which comes back in other Jason films, particularly Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. But anyway, so he's still there. Everybody's dead apart from her. She is literally the final girl. And they go, are they all dead? Said yes. Thought you were dead too. And this is on about the boy who pulled her, Jason. But there's nobody. And he says he's still out there. And then it's actually this were kind of, I don't know if it can't have been deliberate. Maybe just happenstance. But as the camera zooms in on the lake, does it just start raining? There we go. And it just happens to get a raindrop just there. Or it could have been a fish just poking out from under the water. I don't know. But I think it's starting to rain. But there we go. Does it again. Just where the point of the... Oh, it's raining, isn't it? Because it's it again there. But anyway, that's the end of the film. There we go. And then we get the cast list. So there we go. A great film made on a super low budget. But not super low, really, for the time. Quite low. I think it cost more than Halloween. Did Halloween cost something like 300? I've forgotten, but But anyway, so there we go. So that's the end of Friday the 13th, and I said I was going to say my pet theory that other people think as well. It's not just me. That Pamela, I don't think Pamela Voorhees were alone in doing these murders. Right, as well, I forgot to see if I can find. There's another bit that I missed where she finds Steve. She goes running out. Hang on, where is it now? Where is it? Where is it? She finds Steve. She does, I think. Where is it now? Why am I'm sitting like that with my hand out like that? I don't know why. Just bear with me. I've got to find bits. Where does she find Steve? Anyway, she looks in the car. She does go to the car. Yes, I've just remembered. She does go to Pamela Voorhees' car. So everybody's shouting at me now. Who's watching this? As I said before, why did she just take the car? And you're all shouting, she did! Because you've all seen this film. And I've just remembered, yes, she did go to the car and she sees the body in the car. The body of Annie is in there. But I'm trying to find the bloody thing. Where is it? Where is it? I'm sure it's after this. I'm sure it's after this. Yeah, it is. It's after this. See if I can find it. Tell you, this bloody skip. It's skipping over bloody bits I need to see. So I think there she's running to the car. So let me see if I can find it. Here you go. Go on, go. Don't go in there. No, you're supposed to be running to the bloody car. Christ's sake. And she opens the car and she finds the body of Annie, and then as she's running away from that, Steve swings down as though he's been strung up from a tree or something. And I was thinking, well, did Pamela Voorhees how did she get him up there? But that's why I'm thinking, is Jason actually around? I mean, he is, because that's what they went with in part 2, didn't they? We're going to find this. No, she's running down to the... Yeah, she's running down to the water now. Where's this bloody bit with the car? Christ on a bike. Bloody film. For Pete's sake. Go on. It's not in there, is it? Right, she's hiding there. I'm going to get a bloody copyright strike for these bloody skips. A bloody am, Blooming am. No, she's there, look. That's, where is it? No. I have no idea where this thing is with the... She goes to Pamela's car. Right. This is... I found it. Right. So, alright, she'd done that. She looked in the car. There we go. She finds Annie's body. And then she runs out. And here comes Steve. Just happened to fall there. I don't know. But who strung him up with a knife in his chest? So poor Steve's caught for it. I can't imagine. I know she's not a slight woman, but I can't imagine her hoisting a fully grown man up there. But so I think Jason's around. She probably thinks he's the spirit of Jason. This is my headcanon, by the way. Because it does establish in Friday the 13th Part 2 that Jason is there, and he sees his mother getting beheaded, doesn't he? And then takes revenge. But for the purpose of this film, it's supposed to be just her. But there are obviously some shots in it where it's obviously a man. You can tell it's a man because it was a man doing it. Betsy Palmer only came for these bits. All the other parts of the film, well, a bloke playing, the killer. Well, Tom Savini and Tasso and all them. So anyway, that's what I think. I think she's not. Jason's been doing some of the killing as well. Maybe she didn't know about it. I don't know, but maybe she did. Maybe she saw Jason as maybe not her little boy, but the grown spirit of her little boy. I don't know, but that's just what I'm going through in my addled brain. Anyway, right, so that's it. So that's Friday the 13th. A really good film, a really good film. The next Friday the 13th we do, I'll do part two. So there we go. But that one will probably be live. Anywho, so we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. By the way, they're not usually long films, are they? We've got through this quite quickly. I think everybody's seen that film, haven't they? They must have done. Everybody's seen Friday the 13th. And everybody knows that the killer. Well, it was in Scream, innit? It tells us in Scream. Everybody's seen Scream as well, and it tells us in Scream who the killer is in Friday the 13th. Because Drew Barrymore gets it wrong, doesn't she? She says it's Jason, and then the ghost face says, "No, everybody knows it's Pamela Voorhees," in the first one. So, but I think she did have help, and I don't. Did they just give her the same card as Steve, just so that at first it made us think that Steve was the killer, and then they also had to have Alice thinking that Steve had come back, because Steve's car had broken down, hadn't it? Steve's Jeep had broken down. But anyway, whatever. I wonder if it is the same Jeep they just used twice. Can't be. They can't use two different ones, can they? Because it doesn't linger on the number plate. Anyway, never mind. Right, we'll leave it there. So that's the end of Friday the 13th, Part 1. Great film, and well worth a watch, and a lot better than I actually remember it being. It's a solid film, a really solid. It's not goofy, and the acting's pretty good. Most of the characters are fine. It's a solid film. It's better than you expect it to be. I haven't seen it for a while, and it still stands up. It still stands. I think it does anyway. I think it's a worthy addition to the horror genre. There, I said it. Right, so we'll leave it there. So, if you're watching this on Friday the 13th, this is going to be an early access for members of the channel. So you'll see it a few days early. I'll upload it on the Monday before the Friday the 13th. So members can watch it then. And it'll be open to the public, available to view the public on Friday the 13th. But live on Friday the 13th, there'll be episode 100 of Friday Night Appointment with Fear, which will be The Exorcist. So watch that episode 100 of Friday Night Appointment with Fear, The Exorcist. I think the scariest film ever made. I just do. Very disturbing and amazing. But there we go. So that's what's happening then. Right, so thanks for watching. Don't have nightmares. And until next time, I'll see you. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that. I keep forgetting to do that, don't I? That's why I don't get more subscribers. Like and subscribe. It says there, big red letters down there. Like and subscribe. And share the videos, and put a comment in the comments telling me how rubbish I am, because I know I'm rubbish. You don't have to tell me. I know I'm rubbish. Right, so thanks for watching. Don't have nightmares, and until next time, I'll see you.